I'm Whitney.
I'm Mindy.
And I'm Deb.
We're three best friends who love nerdy things.
Well, some people think we're nerdy, but we think we're pretty awesome.
This is our nerdiest thing.
Hello, fellow nerds, and welcome to our nerdiest thing. Today, we're going to be discussing our favorite Why Choose books, because National Eiffel Tower Day was March 31st.
Love it.
So, you know.
Can I go ahead and give you my nerdiest thing of the week?
Sure.
Okay.
Did you get Eiffel Tower?
That's not nerdy, that's dirty.
We do nerdy and dirty around sometimes with the author interviews.
This is true.
So I'm looking at the show notes last week and I'm going through and I'm typing in my notes and I see that we are going to release this episode on National Eiffel Tower Day. Well, it was just at National Eiffel Tower Day.
Yeah.
And I bust up laughing and my husband, who's the sweetest little green flag on the planet, is like, "What you laughing at, babe?" And this is the person we call the sexual butler, by the way. And I'm like, "Dude, Whitney is going to release this around National Eiffel Tower Day." And he like looks at me and I'm like, "Babe,
Because she really loves France.
do you know what an Eiffel Tower is?" And he's like, "Is it dirty?" And I was like, "It is very dirty."
As a matter
Who do
of
you
fact,
think
it
you're
is.
talking to?
And so I had to explain to my 40-something husband what an Eiffel Tower was. If you don't know what an Eiffel Tower is, open private mode in your browser.
do it.
Okay.
Incognito.
Incognito,
but
yeah,
I wanted to thank the show Emily in Paris for teaching me what an Eiffel Tower was. And then
Nice.
when it happened in one of the Pucking Around books, I knew what it was.
Like, hey, I know some of these words.
Yeah. And the way that it's explained in Emily in Paris is so freaking funny because it's with these over-the-top characters. Like, she doesn't know what it is.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to explain it to her.
my God.
And
So you can look that clip up if you
look up that
look up
clip
that
of
clip. Emily in
Eiffel
Paris.
Tower Day on Emily in Paris.
Yeah. Well, all right.
We hope you enjoy this episode and we hope you get Eiffel Tower.
If that's
what you're into. Yeah. Well, Deb, keep us going with our nerdy news.
Sure. This week, we actually have a new book coming out by Rowell, and it's called Cherry Baby. So this is a very interesting premise of a soon-to-be ex-husband, trust me, who has gone to Hollywood to make a movie based off his webcomic where he makes a caricature of his wife who is thick. Okay.
Ooh.
The caricature is so realistic, however, that people recognize her wherever she goes and she becomes characterized as the fat girl. And those are the author's words, not mine. I want to say that. I usually would not say that phrase. But yeah, so he goes to Hollywood to make a movie based off a comic he made about her being fat.
Gross.
Yeah. So she runs into someone that she knows and a little second chance romance happens.
Nice.
Someone who loves her and has not seen the webtoon. So yeah.
And probably doesn't care either.
Right, that she's thick.
Yeah.
I love this author, by the way, so I'm very intrigued with how that plays out.
I know, me too.
I think Rainbow Rowell pushes the envelope sometimes, and I really enjoy the way that she does that.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that one.
Whitney, you'll be excited about this one. Chloe Liese has a new book out called Happy Ending.
Yes.
So 2 years ago, their exes got together immediately following their divorces. Okay, so two people got divorced and their divorced people got together. Okay. So somehow Thea and Alex find themselves spinning a spite-fueled story about being old friends and first loves. 2 years later, what began as a ruse has grown into real friendship, just friendship, despite what friends and family seem to think. But when their exes invite them on a 2-week, 2-family beach vacation, daughter and dog included, Alex and Thea start to wonder if the story they've spun might have gotten away from them.
So hold up. Their exes who are now together after they got divorced are inviting their exes
Yeah.
to do a joint.
And apparently there's a
That's
daughter
insane.
And a dog.
and a
Yeah.
like shared.
That's diabolical too.
I know it is. It's like
It's crazy.
You know what? We're gonna make you still see all of us because you know don't, if you have pets or kids, you're not going to cut those relationships, right?
Yeah.
Let's go on vacation together.
I can't wait to read that. I actually have that in my calendar for like
when it
releasing
comes out.
today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I had
that.
no idea what it was about.
You just thought it was about
I
happy
just
endings.
saw Chloe Liese. I was like, yep, I'll read that.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that Alex and Thea get their happy ending.
I'm sure they do.
And I hope the other
Yeah,
two
I'm sure
people
they
get
do.
kicked in the cooter and the balls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trashy.
I
So
would say yes.
this book is the one I'm really excited about this week. We have the 6th book in the Bridge Kingdom series coming out. It's called The Tempest Blade. And those books are by Danielle Jensen, who we will actually also see at Imaginarium.
excited.
Yeah, I can't wait to see her again. Next is a horror book. It's called Invasive Species by Ellery Adams. And the synopsis is something's not right in Cold Harbor, more so than usual. While this sleepy, small town has seen its fair share of monsters and cheating husbands and leering bosses, none are as hungry as Mrs. Smith. The mysterious resident has finally emerged from her crumbling mansion on the hill, mesmerizing the townspeople with her beauty. Her secret: she needs 9 human sacrifices to feed her immortality.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. So you got all these shitty men, and I'm hoping she's going to eat some. I'm very, very excited about it.
That's funny.
Another
very supernatural.
I was
know,
just
yeah,
thinking the same
it does.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
was that an episode of
It's
Supernatural?
like, oh no, I'm so pretty. I'm going to eat you. Yeah. I want her to say it just like that too. I'm going to eat you. That's what I would do. I like look all beautiful, and then they're like, "So, honey," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Annabelle did a project on a famous or influential Black American for Black History Month, and we picked together a soccer player, Mallory Swanson, who plays for the national team. And I was hyping her up in the car today. You know, you're going to read your poster. You're going to talk about Mallory Swanson. And I was like, you need to say, my project is about Mallory Swanson.
Did she think that was funny?
She did. She's fast and she's strong. She said that would be insane. I was like, I think you should do it.
Annabelle, she has like the sweetest little girl voice too. Her to be like, "I'm Annabelle, Mallory Swanson."
I would love it.
Okay, I have another horror book I want to talk about. It's called Japanese Gothic by Kylie Lee Baker. And this one's actually a dual timeline set in 2026 and 1877. Okay.
Oh, all
where
right.
a foreign man and a woman with a sword keep appearing outside of each other's windows
Oh.
but in different timelines.
in different timelines.
Ooh.
And the tagline is, one of these people is a ghost and that one of these stories is a lie.
Oh.
I know.
Okay.
I'm very intrigued by this.
I want to read that.
Yeah, that's cool.
It sounds really fun. And then if you want to add a little bit of smutty smut spice to your reading this week,
I do.
you can read The Auction by Sadie Kincaid. It's the first book in a new mafia romance series where a woman is kept away from the outside world so she can be one day sold to the highest bidder.
Of course.
And of course, she has to be like pure, which is ugh. So the man who wins her at the auction is everything she's been taught to fear.
Oh, no.
I know. I wonder what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay, so that's just for this week. So next week we have 2 books coming out. Whitney, this one is one you're really excited about. Frozen by Stardust by Elizabeth Helen.
yes.
Yeah. This is the long-awaited book 5 in the Beast of the Briar series,
Yes,
which
I
I believe
enjoy
you're
that.
going to talk about in a few minutes. Aren't you?
Yes.
And then one more horror book. I don't know why there's so much horror.
There
releasing
are
right
a
now.
ton.
Yeah, I guess maybe that's also in my algorithm. They're like, you like
Well,
some
that might
weird
be
shit here. So this is called The Caretaker by Marcus Kliewer. Sorry if I just butchered that. How do you say that, Mindy? Kliewer. Come on, word nerd.
I would say
Kliewer.
Kliewer.
Okay. This is a supernatural horror about a young woman who accepts a caretaking job from Craigslist, only to discover the position has consequences far greater and more dangerous than she could have imagined.
Ooh.
Yeah, so the job is only for 3 days, and she can't figure out why it's only for 3 days.
Oh,
I was because he's
interesting.
going to try to kill her, but who knows?
Maybe he's gonna feed her to her.
Yeah,
To
maybe.
the old person.
Maybe he's like, I'm hungry. I need immortality. I'm going to eat you.
Oh, man. Good times. Good
Welcome
times.
to our nerdiest thing. We're immature. But if you haven't caught on to that already, I can't help you.
Unless
Sorry.
it's their first time listening.
Please keep listening.
Yes, please. Well, that brings us to the nerdy and dirty, and I can get us started with what I have been reading, because mine is actually a reread of Love Theoretically. One of my favorite Allie Hazelwood books.
Mine too.
I've been in a little bit of a slump. I have DNF'd 3 books in a row.
What?
Ooh.
3 in a row. One of them is because I didn't realize the character had the same name as my daughter.
Right.
And I was like, no, I can't do that. So I just switched to a book that I have read before that I knew was not going to disappoint me. So now I'm going to read you the blurb.
I have a list of books you could read.
Yeah. But I don't know if I would actually enjoy them or not. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, you would.
Well, I'll do that next time. Maybe tomorrow. The many lives of theoretical physicist Elsie Hannaway have finally caught up with her. By day, she's an adjunct professor toiling away at grading labs and teaching thermodynamics in the hopes of landing tenure. By other day, Elsie makes up for her non-existent paycheck by offering her services as a fake girlfriend, tapping into her expertly honed people-pleasing skills to embody whatever version of herself the client needs. It's a pretty sweet gig until her carefully constructed Elsieverse comes crashing down because Jack Smith, the annoyingly attractive and broody older brother of her favorite client, turns out to be the cold-hearted experimental physicist who ruined her mentor's career and undermined the reputation of theorists everywhere. And that same Jack who now sits on the hiring committee at MIT, right between Elsie and her dream job.
Yeah.
It was
a
so
really
good.
book.
I haven't read that one yet.
It's so good.
I know.
Highly recommend. I literally sat down like Saturday morning and then got up Saturday evening and was like, well, that was a good book. And my family was like, where you been?
Well,
What do you think?
It's
Good to see
funny you say that because I started a new series and I have not been getting any sleep because normally, you know, I take a little something and it'll knock me out. But the way these chapters are ending in these books, I'm like, I just have to keep going.
Got to keep going. Yeah.
So I'm reading the Miles High Club by T.L. Swan. It's a book about the Miles brothers. Okay. Who own a multimedia company and are pretty much assholes. But I love these books because they meet women who like whip them into shape.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
And they don't become like perfect people by
Sure,
any means.
sure.
But the women are like, what the fuck did you just say to me? So
I like that.
it is a billionaire romance. Obviously, they own a
I like-
multimedia company. But
I like a billionaire.
yeah,
romance.
but they're really funny too. Like the banter's really funny, and some of the stuff that the women say. I mean, like it's everything that we say in real life that you don't normally see in romance.
Yeah.
right.
Love it.
Yeah, really good.
That sounds good.
Yes,
I'm going to
but-
add it to the list.
But you will have to make yourself stop reading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good at that. So maybe I'll wait on that a little bit.
Maybe
Mindy?
it'll help you with your slump,
Maybe. Hopefully. it
or
will.
any of the other 20 books I recommended this week.
Well, I also
Okay, Mindy. Your turn.
Go, Mindy.
Sorry, go ahead, Min. What are you
I
reading?
also read a book that it only took me 2 days to read, so
nice.
it was a really quick read for me. It's called The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Kat and Heath are an unlikely ice dancing duo who rise to fame because of their passionate chemistry. She's obsessed with getting to the Olympics, and he's obsessed with her.
Ooh.
There's drama and intrigue. Apparently, a lot of the ice dancing world is cutthroat. Who knew? I read this one in 2 days. Like I said, it was a 5-star read for me. It was so good.
Cool. That sounds awesome.
Nice. I like that.
Are there any ice skating romance books where they're not like hate each other though when they start dancing? I've not read one yet.
These they never. Well, I don't want to say they never hate each other, but they are like almost obsessive with each other.
Oh, okay.
So it's more of like a dark part of that passion. I don't know. It was very interesting. It was an interesting dynamic, and then there's like some other, there's competition, and I don't know. It doesn't end how you think it would end either.
I wonder if it's inspired at all by Wuthering Heights. Because Heathcliff and Kathy are the main characters, and those are not like usual names, especially paired together.
Interesting, yeah.
All those people that went and watched Wuthering Heights and thought it was a romance have been really disappointed. Yeah, this is why you read the book first, people.
Yeah.
Well, the movie,
It deviates heavily.
well, she put Wuthering Heights in quotations,
Right,
Because
right.
it's not actually
Yeah,
Wuthering
right.
Heights, but which is a pet peeve of mine, but that's okay. But that sounds really good. I'm gonna have to.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna have to read that one too and add it to the list. Well, I can also
better put mine before that.
I just did.
God,
I will get us started with what we were watching because I hated what I watched. And I actually don't recommend it at all. And I'm going to tell you why. So I watched, this is on Netflix. It's called The Investigation of Lucy Letby. And I just, don't waste your time watching this. This is a true crime documentary. And basically the events that happened that it's discussing is this was in England maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little less than that. A NICU ward started having a big uptick in baby deaths. And so they did an investigation, like what's going on, right?
I don't like this.
Well, their investigation pointed to one nurse intentionally harming babies, but she has said the whole time that she didn't do anything wrong. So this documentary is going through like, here's what happened, and they're interviewing a bunch of different people. So I have two major issues with this documentary, and the first one is that it just wasn't well made, in my opinion. Like it felt like the people making this documentary didn't have anything to say about this.
They wanted to cover the case, but like either didn't have a point of view or couldn't get there.
Yes,
didn't have
exactly.
An angle.
It's just like a collection of information without an angle. And it's like, okay, what am I doing with all this stuff, But my real thing that really upset me was there are two people that they interviewed for this documentary who wanted to stay anonymous, which happens a lot when people interview for documentaries. Understandable. So instead of like darking everything out and, just see a silhouette or like a disembodied voice or an actor to portray them, it appears that they filmed these two people doing their interviews and then used AI to digitally alter the appearance of the people.
Why not just black out,
like
put them in a silhouette?
And in the corner every time, it was just two people. One was a mother of a baby who died, and one was a friend of this nurse that's been accused. And it said in the corner like digitally changed or altered or something like that. Yeah. But it was like the AI, it just changed what they look like and maybe what they sound like too. I'm not sure. But they were still trying to like do all of the facial expressions and the movements and, when they paused because they needed a minute to collect themselves, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, for me, it was very obvious that you're looking at an AI like creature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're not looking at a person. And so especially with the mother of this, baby that died, the documentary crew wants you to have this emotional connection with this mother that's gone through this horrible thing. And I can't,
and you
because
she's taking you out
she's
of it.
Dead in the eyes because it's AI.
Yeah.
It's not the actual you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was just like, you have lost. I understand wanting to keep this person anonymous because they want to stay anonymous. I have no problem with that. But you did it with this thing that makes it a thing and not a person.
I actually like it when they do the silhouette because that makes me focus on the voice and the emotion in the voice.
Yes.
Rather than...
And it might have been her actual voice. I have no idea. But it was weird.
Yeah,
it was really weird. I did not like it at all. And then on top of that, I felt like it was a poorly made documentary. And it was just like, well, this was a complete waste of my time.
As a mom who had a baby in a NICU, like that is so terrifying because you literally have to put 100% of your trust into the doctors and nurses in there.
Yeah.
Because at the time, my daughter, there was not a level 5 NICU where we were, and so she had to be transported to a different hospital. So I would have to leave her there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you can't trust who your child is staying with, that's terrifying.
That's awful. Yeah.
Terrifying.
It was unfortunate all the way around. It was unfortunate.
Did she get convicted?
She did get convicted, but there are some questions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's I don't know.
Interesting about the questions, not the documentary, because I'm obviously not going to watch that.
The case itself is intriguing to me because she did an appeal and she has a defense attorney that raises some good points of like, this was not done. This evidence was not brought up. And this is like very important context for this thing that they told the jury about and all this stuff. But I don't know. I think she's probably guilty, to be honest with you. But yeah. So that's what I watched, and it was stupid, and I hated it.
I watched something that's also kind of stupid, but I loved it. I'm rewatching Schitt's Creek right now.
I love that.
And I started with, I believe it's the very beginning of season 2 where Patrick comes in. I did
I
not
love
watch
Patrick.
season 1 because I don't watch Schitt's Creek without Patrick in it.
Yeah,
because I just
Patrick.
think he's such an amazing character and so good for David. And so I cried on the episode where he sings "Simply the Best" to David, and then I cried 3 episodes later when David sings it to Patrick. Yeah. So I love Schitt's Creek.
It's such a great show.
That's
It's
what
a
you can
really
be
great
doing
show.
with your HBO Max right now.
Oh, okay.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's true.
Yeah.
Mindy, what are you watching?
Well, I'm not doing HBO Max at the moment. So I decided I wanted to rewatch something that just came up randomly. It's called The Mentalist. This is on Hulu and Disney Plus. This is an older show. It started in 2008, and I had watched it originally. It ran several seasons, but it centers around a man who lost his wife and child to a serial killer and is now obsessed with tracking him down. So he works as a consultant to the California Bureau of Investigation, which is the FBI, but for California, I guess, because he used to have a career as a psychic, but really he's just like super observant of human behavior.
It's a serious psych show is what it is. It's like psych, but serious.
Yeah. His partner's a woman who's, of course, a rule follower. And there's like good banter.
Let me guess, she doesn't believe in psychics.
No, she does not.
It's shocked, I tell you.
He hates it when he goes rogue because he has a gut feeling or whatever.
He doesn't either. I mean, he's like, I know I was a fraud. Like, I know I'm not. He doesn't believe in psychics. Like, you know, he just was like, that was his, he played that. So it's just a really, Simon Baker plays the mentalist character, and he's super hot. And
he's got like curly blonde hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
He and it's Robin Tunney, who was in The Craft.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Plays the woman that's the partner. So, and there's just some really great side characters. It's just a really, really well done show, and it's every episode. It's like, oh, what's he noticing that is going to come out?
And it's like a monster of the week type of thing, right? Like every episode, there might be an overarching plot, but every episode's a different case.
Every episode's a different case, but there's this whole serial killer like through line.
That's cool. I've never watched.
It's a great show.
I've never watched.
Have you ever watched Bones, Mindy?
No, I haven't.
You really should watch
I know.
that.
I think I would like that.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite shows from the early 2000s.
I've never watched that one either.
Really, really good.
Mindy, will you keep us going with what you have been listening to?
So I just started listening to Us Against You by Frederick Bachman. This is the second book in the trilogy. The first book was Beartown, which I read some years ago.
That's one of Brian's favorite books.
I picked it up because it's about hockey, but it's not really about hockey.
Do they kiss in it?
Well, trigger warnings.
Oh,
because
got it.
So I'll
Not
get
the
to
kind
that.
of kissing we want.
Yeah. So for some reason, I just never picked up this next book, even though it's been on my TBR. So I decided to dive back into this world, and I'm really glad I did. I forgot how great Bachman's writing is when he's tackling these serious subjects. This one's super gritty and raw, like a trigger galore. Read with care. There are some super triggering subjects, so just do a little research if you have specific triggers. There's something that happens in Beartown. It's definitely still being talked about in the second one. So and it's it's not a pretty subject, but the way it's discussed and the background of it all these characters are all interspersed. It's just so well done. I'm listening to this one. I read the other one. I'm listening to this one, and I'm really, really enjoying the listen too. So I don't know. I highly recommend anything by Frederick Bachman, but start with Beartown though.
Yeah. It's a series. It's not
it's
just
a
like
trilogy.
a second book.
It's a trilogy.
Okay, gotcha.
I will say this: the first one doesn't necessarily end in a cliffhanger or anything. Like, you can just read the first one, and you're not like, this is probably why I didn't like immediately pick it up. It may not have even been out. I don't know, but it's not a cliffhanger, but it definitely follows
the story.
Continues.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, cool. I'm listening to something very different from that. This is a new to me podcast that apparently has been around for a long time and is very successful. I had just never heard of it before this week. It's called Scam Goddess. Do you guys know about this podcast?
No.
Okay. So it's true crime, but it focuses on scams. Okay. So there's a lot less murder. And it's a comedy. It is a comedy podcast. So the host has a guest on every week, and the host has basically done a deep dive on a scam and is like telling the guest about it, and they just like talk about it and react to it in real time. It is really funny. I am enjoying it so much. The first episode that I listened to is Paul Scheer and Jason Mantzoukas from How Did This Get Made, which is how I found out about it. and they talk about the current NBA cheating scandal that's been the past few months. It is really funny. It is very interesting. I found that I can't figure out which episode it is, but they mentioned that in a previous episode, she covered a cheating scandal in chess, like competitive chess, where the guy
I thought they were all virgins.
Well, he was using a vibrating butt plug to cheat, and had like somebody in a spectator had the remote to it, and they were doing like Morse code. Basically, like that's how they were cheating. And I'm like, first of all, how do you cheat in chess? Like, I don't understand that. And also, how do you do Morse code cheating for chess in your butt? Like, I don't understand. I mean, but anyway, I'm trying to find which episode that is because I want to listen to that.
If that
story.
man could keep a straight face the entire time, I'm impressed.
Right?
I feel like that would work better for like poker,
right? Yes, but it was like the chess grand champion, whatever, weird. Grand master or something. Wild. I don't know, but I was like, what? But it's really funny.
If there are any chess people that could write to us and tell us,
tell us about that.
Do that, yeah, because it's not like you can't see what the player's doing.
Yeah. I just don't understand. Yeah, but yeah, scam.
And
goddess.
if you play chess and you're not a virgin, I'm sorry. I was just joking. Please still write to us.
That's really
give us 5-star review.
Deb, what have you been listening to?
So I just started this, so I'm going to rely more on the synopsis of the book because I wouldn't be able to tell you much about it. But it's called The Sun and the Star Maker by Rachel Griffin, and she is someone that we've talked about on the podcast before. But the synopsis is, nestled deep in the snowy mountains of the Lost Range, the small village of Reverie endures a miracle. Beyond the reach of the sun, Reverie is dependent upon the magic of the mysterious Star Maker. Every morning, he trudges across a vast glacier and pulls in sunlight over the peaks, providing the village with the light it needs to survive. Aurora, who's our FMC, meets him on her wedding day, and he notices magic in her and demands that she come and study under his guidance.
Ooh.
So I have never heard of this type of folklore before, and that's why I'm so interested in it. So I'm really excited. Plus, I really like Rachel Griffin.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Very cool.
Well, that brings us to our nerdiest topic, where we're going to talk about our favorite Why Choose books.
I'm going to go ahead and say that you all had already put in the books you want to discuss in our show notes by the time I got to them, and you guys left nothing for me. Because we all tend to read the same Why Choose books. Yeah. So, but I got a couple. Okay. I have 4.
Well, I'll start us off because I feel like I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because none of these are like new. I've talked about these a lot. And so I'll just go through them quickly. I have recommended these many times because I love them. And first up, surprise to nobody.
What? The Bonds That Tie? I'm so shocked.
The Bonds That Tie series by Jay Bree. This is paranormal romance. You have one lady and 5 basically fated mates. There's a lot of enemies to lovers vibes. There's slow burn, really good spice, an us versus the world kind of mentality, paranormal powers. Very, very good. Highly recommend.
Have you ever listened to them?
Oh, yeah.
Are they good on narration?
Yes.
I like
them. I like them
too.
I like them a lot.
Because I want to reread, but usually I listen to my read.
I don't know if the newest one where she just recently released like the surprise.
Oh, yeah. From the boys' point of view.
Yes, the first book from their POV. I'm not sure if that has an audiobook or not, but I read that one and I really liked it.
And I really enjoyed the
other audiobooks. Yeah, they're good. Yeah. And then you mentioned book 5 of the Beast of the Briar series by Elizabeth Helen in our nerdy news. This is a romantasy retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Again, you have one lady and 4 fated mates who are also fae princes. There's a lot of fighting against the bond, slow burn. There's some MM and MFM, fae powers, fighting against like a big bad villain, us versus the world type drama, which is kind of a theme I've realizing in the kind of books that I like, us versus them. Book 5 comes out soon, as mentioned in nerdy news. So start with Bonded by Thorns. Yes. I was just realizing I didn't actually write it down. Bonded by Thorns.
I read the first 3 books and I really liked them, but I took a big break and I tried to start book 4 and I was really confused. So I think I need to go back and read 3 again, just like read it real quickly.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's hard to to keep up if you take a big break between books. Next up is not actually White Shoes, technically, but I'm recommending From Blood and Ash because of the joining scene. So this is not actually a White Shoes relationship, at least as far as we know. It's not a completed series, so I guess it could technically become one, but I don't see that happening. However, there is some really good sexual tension and the joining scene with 3 people. This is a romantasy world with some forbidden romance, fated mates, a maiden and her guard, hidden identity, fighting against a big bad villain, us versus the world, right? And it's really great. Highly recommend. And then last but not least, this is not one that I've read because I'm afraid of it because of the trigger warnings. However, I still highly recommend Pretty Poisoned.
I've read it.
By Elle Mitchell. Yeah, it's White Shoes, rockstar, dark romance. And it's about a podcaster journalist who joins a tour of 2 rockstar brothers that may or may not be dangerous and may or may not be into the occult and may or may not be into like blood play and disappearing people.
They're into all of that.
But definitely check the triggers.
Yes, it is very dark.
Yeah.
It is very well written. Elle Mitchell is very, very talented.
Yeah,
but
I love Elle.
If you like just a little bit of dark romance, it's not for you.
Right.
It's very dark romance.
Very dark.
I mean, when they say blood play, they mean it. Yeah. Whitney's favorite. Yeah.
But I do love Elle.
That's one that Whitney chose not to arc read, which I'm really glad you did. And I don't think it's for you.
I was like, I'm not dark enough for this. I am too golden retriever for that. But I still recommend it if that's the kind of thing you like to read. Yeah. So there you go.
You should read all her books.
Yeah. Mindy, what about you?
Well, I would second, of course, The Bonds That Tie, just because that was the first White Shoes I ever read, and I just can't say enough good things about it. I think it's a great way to begin, and if you're not sure about White Shoes, I think it's a great way to start.
There's a reason for the polyamorous relationship, essentially. Like the men aren't polyamorous, but she is. And so if you are nervous about getting into White Shoes, there's a reason.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think it just kind of slides you in.
It does.
It does.
It does, yeah.
So I did want to like piggyback off of that. Then, of course, we've got The Jacksonville Rays by Emily Rath. Again, something I've talked about so much. Now, not all of those are White Shoes. So Pucking Around is 1 woman and 3 men. And then Pucking Sweet is 1 woman and 2 men. And then the upcoming one, it's not out yet, and I don't think it's going to be out for a little while, but it's called Pucking Free, and it's 2 women and 1 male. So that one will be out later. But this was my first non-paranormal White Shoes, and just will always be a recommendation of mine. I just feel like Emily really turned the sports romance genre on its head and paved the way for possibilities of this genre. And her writing is just, it's fun, it's flirty, there's good banter. It takes a world that's definitely high masculinity and really makes you believe that this could happen. I love it. I love it. It's just really good
too, if you have read those books or if you're thinking about starting them, we have a really good interview with her too. You can just go search for it wherever you listen to podcasts. She's very, very, very intelligent and an amazing writer.
Yeah, she's great. Love her.
Love.
So the next one I have to recommend is called Allison's Adventures in Underland, and it's and it's by an author named C.M. Stunick. And I met this author at Wild and Windy, Chicago, and she was so fun and so cool. It made me really want to read her books, but unfortunately, she was totally sold out by the time I got to her. So her Harem of Hearts trilogy has been on my list for a few months now. It's a trilogy that begins with this book, Allison's Adventures in Underland. And a quick skim of the reviews, and I see the phrase 9 dicks a few times. Okay, I'm sold. It's apparently a dark, twisted, sexy Alice retelling, and you know I'm not about to pass that up.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah.
She wrote that for you.
She did.
That's is hilarious. So funny. 9 dicks.
I'm like, okay. All right.
Say less.
That comes up quite a bit. I guess they come up quite a bit.
I don't think she's saying anything with that many dicks.
So next is another series that I haven't quite read yet, but it's a book that a friend of the podcast, Colleen, suggested on our Patreon. Shout out to Colleen.
Damn you. I had this one on my list.
You did?
Yes.
I had it on my
I'm sure you did. You guys took all the good ones.
She suggested that it's a good starting point if you're new to Omegaverse, and it's white shoes. So I'm intrigued. As soon as she mentioned that, I was very intrigued. It's been considered a genre-defining read for Omegaverse. So there is a prompt this year for my 2026 52 book club challenge that's a genre-defining read. So I'm going to use that for that.
Hey, what's it titled? Because you didn't say when I interrupted you.
Oh, it's Lola and the Millionaires by Catherine
That
Noon.
was my fault. That was my bad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, here, I'm going to tell you all about this book, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
You just have to figure it out.
For the record, if you make Instagram reels about books, please fucking put the title and author in the description.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
That happens all the time where I'm like, this sounds great. And then the title and the author are nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere. And I'm like, well, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, little PSA there for y'all.
Yeah.
And then finally, I've got another series called the Cozyverse series. So this is another Omegaverse, and it's by two authors, Eliana Lee and Amelia Emerson, and there are 4 books in the series. It's a pack for every season, basically. So a pack for winter, a pack for spring, a pack for summer, and a pack for fall. It's cozy Omegaverse romance. So maybe if you aren't into all the dark stuff, you want something a little tamer,
yeah.
then
Not give me nightmares.
yeah, you might try that.
Nice. Well, thank you so much.
I was about to say, and thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
That was from last episode if you've not listened. So I just have a couple to add. I want to include the Vicious Lost Boys series by Nikki St. Croix. This is a spicy, very dark Peter Pan retelling, and it's got like a multiverse type of world because she gets kidnapped from the real world and gets taken into Neverland, right?
Cool.
And there is something with her bloodline that like helps keep the Lost Boys alive.
Interesting.
So, the spice gets real spicy, real fast. So this is good for readers who like spice with a little bit of plot thrown in. Yeah. Because it's not like, oh, he's so dangerous and pretty. She's like, well, while I'm here, we might as well fuck. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm not wasting my time in Neverland.
Right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that for the record. But I'm just saying, if you need a little bit more of a reason,
right,
which you don't, but if you do, then that maybe don't start with that one.
Sure.
The second one is Signs of Cupidity by Raven Kennedy, and this follows a bitter Cupid who gets exiled to the Fey realm and accidentally gains a physical body, leading her to seek love for herself.
Love that.
Yeah, and it's really funny. And then finally, I've got all the dark ones. Finally, I've got Losers by Harley LaRue, and again, this is very, very, very dark. It's about a former high school mean girl who gets caught up in a revenge and redemption plot with 4 men that she used to torment.
Ooh.
But there is a lot of breath play. There's a lot of kidnapping play.
Yeah.
There's a lot of BDSM. But it is FMM, I believe. So if the numbers touch, so do they. Or the letters touch, so do they.
Yeah.
So it's very good, very well written, but also you're not going to like read it and be like, I feel great about the world.
Right.
Because that's not really what Harley LaRue does. No. Right. Yeah. And so, but it is very, very good.
That's very intriguing to me.
Yeah. I love that.
The mean girl gets with all the boys she used to, that got all hot after high school.
Well, let's go into our nerdiest thing of the week.
I already told you about my Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. Mindy, what was yours?
So mine is super nerdy.
Okay.
So
well, you're in the right place.
But I mean, like, not even book related or anything. So I stumbled across something on YouTube when I was doing some research for our upcoming camping trip, and it's called texture hunting.
Okay.
So this is something that people who travel do a lot, apparently. And you take this piece of putty or clay. It's like it's not special or anything. It's just putty or clay. I guess you could use silly putty if you really wanted to. And you press it into some sort of texture in nature or architecture or something like that, like a plaque or something that's just got a really neat bark pattern or something like that. And then you use that as a stamp.
Oh,
and it
okay.
highlights things during your travels, or like in a travel journal. And I got so excited about this. I was like, I am doing this.
That is right up your alley.
It really is. I'm very, very excited. So I went ahead and I bought the clay, and the plan is to use it when we go on our adventures in our camper. So next up is Colorado. So
yeah, that's cool.
When do you all go to Colorado?
This summer.
Oh, awesome.
Yep. Fun.
That'll be really fun. And I know that's one of your favorite places to go to.
It is one of my favorites. And we've never been in the camper. So
that'll be really fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, Mindy, do you remember last episode when you were talking about slipping on the ice and falling down?
Oh, no. Did you fall down? Did you go, whoa?
I didn't go, whoa. But, okay, first of all, I thought all the ice had melted, number one.
Yeah.
And I'm at the car wash, and I'm walking around my car because I'm using their, like, heavy-duty vacuum or whatever. Yeah. And apparently the wetness on the ground was ice, and I didn't know. And I didn't fall on my butt, but I fell on my knee and have like a gross bruise.
I'm sorry.
Like all the workers were like young college guys, and I felt so stupid. And it took me a little bit to not feel stupid about it. And so, my day went on, and my knee kind of hurt. Whatever, that's fine. And I, took the dog for a walk, and I went and had lunch with my parents, and then I got home and realized this was like 3 hours later that my zipper had been unzipped like the whole day. So I was just really winning at life.
Well, no one commented on you falling anymore because they were like, that poor thing.
It's got her.
Oh, yeah. So that was my nerdiest thing. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Like what you heard in this episode? Follow Our Nerdiest Thing on Instagram at instagram.com/Our Nerdiest Thing or Facebook at facebook.com/Our Nerdiest Thing. We love hearing from fellow nerds. Email us at ournerdiestthing@gmail.com.